So, the topic of discussion, as I told you, is wrong parenting. I'll just give you one example so that it's much clear. For instance, sometimes I have seen that when parents are deprived of a certain thing, maybe that the parent, when they were like a child, a kid, they were deprived of good shoes or many toys, any sort of a luxury maybe. So when they struggle and they grow, they become successful, they accomplish their dreams, and they become rich, affluent, wealthy, they absolutely start hoarding the child's wardrobe with stuff, with goods, with luxurious items, with tabs and laptops. And there are like kids I know at like class 6, class 5, they've started riding a bike. One of them, even you know. Anyway, so the result is studies, education, maturity, everything is going through the drains. Because obviously, when you are a kid and you start riding a bike and you're roaming here and there and you have all the luxury, it can be sometimes very dangerous. So the first mistake that I have noted is that when you don't get what you wanted in your childhood, all the luxury, when you become a father, you start pouring stuff to your child and you give the logic, I didn't get it, my child should get it. This is one blunder. So they don't realize how difficult life is, and you don't get things so easily. Every day you don't get an ice cream. Now you carry forward. Who's the next speaker? Shomendo. Yes.
Yeah. So I absolutely agree with you that this is parents' logic that I didn't get it, but I will make sure that my child would get this. Child will get this. So and what happened? So they don't get the values. So they get the products or they get the things they want, but they don't get the values here, because the amount of the amount of pressure or the amount of hard work their parents have, the child's parents have done to get that is enormous, and sometimes you don't even realize, and it's normal for a kid not to realize, because for a kid it's like he or she is just starting his or her life. So like the kid doesn't know like the harsh reality of life yet. So it's also stupidity for us to expect that the child will get all the values since his or her childhood, because childhood time, it's about playing, spending time with your friends and family, and like just being happy like that. So here the thing is that like you as a parents, they have to teach their child that how to like get things or how things are done in this real world. Like few days back I saw an advertisement in social media that how to handle this kind of situation. Like suppose you are on a window seat of a plane, and your co-passenger who is on the aisle seat, she or he is requesting you to vacate your seat just because their child wants to sit at the window seat. And the person who was sitting at the window seat politely answered that it's not about me vacating the window seat, it's about your child to learn that that's not how real world works, that she won't get anything she wants at the drop of a hat every time. So their parents can get them toys or expensive gadgets, or literally anything sometimes. But if the values aren't transferred to the kid, So it's like obvious the kid will spoil, because few months back we saw the incident that uh, in a car accident case, two people unfortunately lost their life. And who was driving the car? One child, and I mean one teenager who was not even adult. And the teenager had access to a sports car. Even the teenager was drunk, though he was not not from the drinking age. He wasn't even was the drinking age. So the thing is that these things, they got whatever they want, but they didn't get the values. So from the childhood, like how we learn our studies at kindergartens. So in that process, the parents also have to transfer the values to them, so they get to know how the real world works. It's not like that you will shout and like you will beat your child that you have to learn this. That will also backfire. As I said, like they are not machines that from day one they will start learning whatever you teach them. So it's like a process, and
Absolutely. Yes.
like continue the process to transfer the values into your child.
True, true, true. That the parents, we need to inculcate the values. Obviously, the baby born is not having so much of idea. That's obvious. So, how you will like bring up the child, it completely depends on the teachers, on the parents. And here, what happens is that, when your parents are giving you everything at the drop of a hat, and when you go to school and the teacher is not giving you a very good, and your friends get a very good, your child is facing anxiety problem and depression. This is the result. When the child goes and sees that friends are bringing this expensive pencil box, but mine is not at par with that pencil box, they are depressed. Imagine silly reasons of being anxious and worrying and depression. They stop eating, they want to leave the house and go. So imagine, because how your parents treat you, the whole world won't treat you like that. This was also mentioned by Shomendo, this flight seat, this old gentleman who said that the child should understand, right? For parents, like the child is the apple of your eye. So he's the best or she's the best and you're giving everything. But the moment the child goes out and faces the world, he or she will face criticism, humiliation. But unfortunately, they won't be able to take it because you have pampered and shielded so much. So this is one parenting error, but I would like to hear more different parenting mistakes. Shri, you've joined a bit late. The topic of discussion is parenting mistakes. Okay. And the first point that we have discussed so far is that when parents don't get things in their childhood, they're deprived of luxury and they become like a father. The child grows up and struggles, faces obstacles, and becomes rich one fine day. Now that person wants that my son or my daughter will not face this and I will give everything. And in this, what happens? They suffer. And then you have heard. Moving on to the next speaker with the next mistake.
Ma'am, can I?
Shomita. Okay, after Shomita, Mrs. Patra. Yes, Shomita. Yes.
In everything, parents should not poke their nose. If a kid choose their something like dress or shoes, anything, they should be like independent, like choose their career also. Don't. There are so many parents that they can't achieve their dream, so they are like burden on their child that I can't do this, so my child should be like this. So they keep burden on their child. It should not be done. And whatever Somendra said, I finally feel about this matter that after a certain age, when a child earn their not child, like they earn their own money, then they should buy their like luxurious or branded stuffs. Then they can value also this. And you said about that wrong parenting. like this. This movie is also an example of it.
Sorry, which movie?
Dishyam, Ajay Devgan and
Drishyam movie. Yeah. Drishyam,
Tabu,
Drishyam,
first
Drishyam.
part.
Oh, that taboo. Oh, that side. That taboo spoiled the boy, and yeah. He was like a spoiled brat. Yes, got it. Absolutely, that was a good example. And she gave us two new points that parents poke their nose in every single thing. Some parents, and literally, let me tell you something that I have seen parents who come and they say that, my friend, my child make friends. Yeah, yeah, I'll come to this. Let's just finish off with this point. What she's saying is very valid, that poking your nose in every small matter. There are girls and boys, they say that my mother or my father, they have no clue about my life. They do not share their life with their parents. There's a huge distance, and the reason being this, what she said, this I've seen. Like when parents are obsessed, they ask her to read the newspaper, question her from the newspaper, make sure that she has friends, she must socialize, she's not doing this, she's not doing that. Now when you are talking to a teenager in this manner in a public place, even a baby nowadays, they have self respect, so they start hating the parent. And so one is, it's damn irritating, humiliating for the child. Secondly, if you take every decision on behalf of your kid, they are unable to take decisions about life, career, marriage, and then that's a handicap situation. Big red flag. One more point you said, what was that?
I said that like after a certain age, when the person will be able to earn money,
Oh,
then
this
they.
this this we have discussed enough. Yeah, fine,
And I
fine.
want to say one more thing, ma'am. When parents poking their nose in everything, when they attend a program, simple a program, they don't understand what they should wear. They ask their mom that what should I wear. This is also a bad thing. It
Yes,
sounds very
yes.
childish, but it is.
Correct, very valid point. Now, Mrs. Patra wanted to say something. After that, Kulvinder wants to say. As she raised the hand first, let me go to her. Okay. So, yeah, Mrs. Patra.
Yes, ma'am. Uh, in the month of July, I had gone Shantiniketan and therapy with a troop. How the bad parenting affects a girl or boy, I have get an example. With a group, three girls was there, who were 12 plus, one is plus 6. But one of them, she is so pampered from her child that everywhere she is the cause of our late when we are taking tiffin as luchi curry. She needs chicken corn soup and it chicken corn soup, and where it takes time to ready these things. But luchi puri is ready, we can take this. But she didn't.
One point is it takes time. Second, it's not available everywhere. You can't demand that anywhere and everywhere.
But the shopkeeper told that we will prepare, but it will take time. But we will go by toto. They are standing there. But the reason it is late, we can't watch all the places properly. Even when we take the lunch, he gave a menu card and ordering different things. But there, the Toto driver was said that their vegetable thali is very good. You can take this. So all of us accept it. But she is taking many part, and her mother has gone to the behavior which thinks that in her shop. For that reason, the being late. At last, I told, and even I have seen he is. She has no respect to her mother, to her auntie, to her uncle. No one she respects. But I can't tolerate it. One day I told her that everywhere you are, you have many dishes in your house, but here we have gone for travel. Here some time. Without time, we have to visit every places. And if you take time for only eating, how it would be possible? For that reason, their mother got angry with me, and their aunt and auntie is also angry, but they don't tell anything.
Got it. So this is one real life example that Mrs. Patra has just shared with us, that how wrong parenting can be absolutely dangerous. Quickly moving now to Kulvinder.
Hello, everyone. I think being a mother, I can understand parenting is very important. Even we are always everybody think their parents, their child should be a first, should be bright, but somewhere we are also involved because we always try to show off the things. For example, in my time when I was a kid, I was going to school, I wasn't used to with the mobile, especially because this is the main concern these days. Kids, they can't even take a bite without watching phone, which is not a healthy habit also, but they like addicted. They are addicted to phone. They need phone everywhere. And being a parents, I think it's more convenient for us to give them phone and just leave them their own. But the big concern is like we don't know what they are watching. Last time I saw my daughter, she was watching phone, like it's a kids channel, but suddenly it's turned into the reels, and she was watching, which is not good for her because she is very little. She's 3 now. Then I think the show off. This is the big concern for parents because it may be convenient for us, but we are spoiling our child future. We are giving them easy option. Take phone and make calm because it's best option for parents. We are spending all time in the kitchen, working women on work, so we have a lots of headaches. So maybe it's convenient, but it's very dangerous later on in the life. So yes, show off, it's a big concern or big factor which is spoiling our both sides, like parents and kids also. That's it.
Moving on now, back to the topic, wrong parenting. So the next speaker, Hosenara. Okay, let's see your point. By the way, this point, I want to say something just briefly. This is correct. This mobile addiction, because the worst part is, you have to give the mobile. You can give the YouTube Kids, where only educational programs are telecasted and there's no reel or nothing nonsense is going on. But that also a certain limit, the timing should be managed, because I see kids when they're traveling, they are glued with that screen. When they're in the doctor's chamber, wherever they're constantly like glued, that is nonsense, obnoxious. Otherwise, little bit giving is okay. Quickly, yes, Hosenara.
Yes, ma'am. I have to say that don't compare with anyone. Okay, your child is a individual person. He or she is a free person, as a free living person. So he or she can do anything. Okay, so don't compare with their siblings as well as the other children they played, or their classmates. So it will hamper their confidence, as well as they will not grow properly or express their feelings towards any one person. So it's very important to make your children more confident, and more express their feelings with yourself also. when you are not you are not try to express their feelings to yourself, so they become more become introvert and become shy. So they, when they grow up, when they are become a adult person, they are like make themselves submerged, and they are like no, I will not do that, I can't do that. So they are like make no difference from their childhood, so that will hamper their growth or their improvement. And I will add another more things that will correlate to this point, like you have to make your child, or you have to explore your child in social life, like they have to go nature and explore nature. They that will when they explore nature, when they come to nature and play with the other children, they will make a social life with other person or other children, that will make them confident, like yes, I can talk with them. Or whenever we see a children in our society, they are like very shy, because they are become introverted. When we ask them that what's your name, they're like shy and just submerged and just collide. They can't answer properly. This is a sign that we are not making our child more confident. It's very good for our children that we have to explore nature, we have to talk with any person we saw, or we are going in a place. So it's I think at these 2 points, when we are not doing this, it will hamper your children, and it's not a good parenting topics. Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely, very well said, all of you actually. Moving on to the next speaker, Rumpa.
Yes, ma'am. I think that the child have a both characteristics. Some characteristics we get from our parents, like the innate characteristics, and in other hand, some character we acquired from our childhood. Like a tree, a child is brings up gradually, and we just take care of the child. So physical development can occur, also the cognitive development also can occur. So sometimes we see that the parents do their project, the children not done their project. So ultimately the child do not get their profit. And also sometimes the nature detachment, most of the time we can see that the children are more spend time the electronic device, mobile or any gadget or games. But the parents think that cognitive development and IQ is also increases, but ultimately not, because they get to that an addiction. And so it is my the second point. And third point is they put a heavy workload on the child, like you can do the dancing, drawing, swimming, you can do everything. But we didn't ask them what he or she wants. So this also affects on child's health, also the mind health. So yeah, these are my 3 points.
Absolutely, all valid points there. Moving on quickly. Okay, Shri wants to speak. Abir wants to speak. Shri.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I have seen that parents have unrealistic expectations from their children. I had seen after my 10th that one of my friends wants to take arts, because she found love in literature, but her parents forced her to take science, that you have to be a doctor, you have to be a engineer. But I think she can do better in literature thing, or being a professor that she wanted to be. So I think they sometimes have unrealistic expectations from their children, and when the expectation did not reach, they started bullying, beating, insulting the children. So I think this is a big problem also in parenting.
Absolutely, that's true. All the points are very good and very valid. You see, if I ask, suppose I am say a teenager, and I am confused with my career, and I love arts, but now my parents are saying that you should choose science. And now sometimes it happens, they're like, okay, you don't know, like you want to know what is better, arts or science, ask everybody. This also happens, then they start asking relatives and XYZ, and then most people are saying that science is best, you should go for science, there's no future in arts, blah blah. But the point is, science can be great for you, but it may not be great for me. So I must know what I am like fit for. So how can another person's suggestion be correct for me? It may be right or may be wrong, so I must know myself. So that's crazy. Now if I ask commerce or computer, obviously everybody will say computers, because you know we are living in 2024. But if someone wants to do commerce, they have a knack and they're passionate about it, and they've planned something and they are not so fond of computers, it's okay. Moving quickly to the next speaker.
Yes, ma'am. Can I
Okay.
start?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. I think overprotectiveness is a bad thing. It's a wrong parenting thing. Like I am facing that situation where when my parents control my whole day, like यहाँ मत जाना, वहाँ मत जाओ, इससे बात मत करो, ऐसे मत करो. So I think these things hamper the growth of the children. Like there is no parenting in लोअर मिडिल क्लास पीपल. जो आपके माँ बाप ने बोल दिया वही सही है, ऐसा हम लोग यहाँ होता है. तो लाइक बट आई थिंक ओवर पेरेंटिंग इज वेरी not good for children. Like I'm facing this situation, they control my day. So after a long, like after 20 years, I'm feeling that now I am now I am escape these things and living our life. So these are my points.
Right. This is Shomita's point that they should not poke their nose in everything. Correct, absolutely. So Sanjeev there. Now Rumela.
Nowadays parents are becoming so busy with their work life and all other things, they don't have the idea what is going on with their children life. They just spend money and they think everything will be get done because they are spending money with the teachers for their schools or extracurricular activities, but that's not the case. They should spend more time, at least adequate time with their children, so that they should have an idea what is going on with their life.
Short and sweet. So that's also the point part, that parents are not giving enough time. Yeah, at least you should give quality time, if not quantity, but the time full of quality where you're talking with the child, interacting, teaching, loving, knowing the person, knowing your baby, the doubts, this and that. Everything can't be handled by the maid or the tuition teacher. Sometimes they see problem, they put tuitions. And this, what Rumpa said, swimming, dancing, jack of all trades, master of none. I mean, one child is so engaged these days. Adults have time for the spoken English class. It's easier to slot the timing. But children are so busy with so many activities that it's very hard to schedule their timing, because they're doing everything. But how is it possible? If someone is doing badminton, that same person is doing Bharatnatyam, badminton, swimming, everybody, parents want that the child should be all-rounder. That's crazy. Okay, anything else? I think everybody spoke on this matter. Rumpa and Shomita, you want to say?
Yes.
Okay, yes, please go ahead.
Sometimes actually parents at the same table, they are like taking alcohol or smoking, they are doing, and they after a certain time they tell their kid they are taking alcohol or like started smoking in a very tender age. Don't do this. But why you did this? It should not be done. In Park Street, actually, I saw that in the same table they are doing everything, or every nonsense stuff they are doing.
Yes, it's a very common scenario, like in most places these days, but you need to walk the talk. What you're saying, you have to follow that yourself. If you are using abusive language at home and you expect your child will never utter a bad word, how is that possible? You are smoking right under the child's nose and you expect that he will not, or simple biting nails and you are saying don't bite nails and you are biting just in front of the baby. How does that work? So first, becoming a parent, you have to first be ready, right? You have to like set a standard. Children, they look up to the parents and they learn what they see. Absolutely. Moving to Rumpa.
Yes, ma'am. Like the child have the both age. Like one is the mental age, another one is the chronological age or the biological age. The sometimes the chronological age is lesser than the mental age. That times it affects the child's development process. Like they knows anything according they do not follow their age. They, like when like in our busy life, most of the parents doing the jobs together, so they sometimes brushed in front of the child and they just say anything or uses any slang languages in front of them. So it is not good for them, because that time the mental health is also affected and the maturation process is brings more rapidly. That is also harmful for a child development. So it is the negative point, I think.
Right, right. Anything else? Anybody?
uh, which Shomita has said that you also said that which in which subject the girl or boy, the children will read, the mother and the parents suggest, and so many girls or boys' future has uh,
Has been ruined in this way.
been ruined. I know one. Uh, as her father is a science background, for that reason he got science. They gave them science, and for 2 years he can't pass the examination. Another point on is that the parents never give the duty and responsibility to their daughter or girls. For that reason, when he became adult, he or she didn't know what's the duty.
They don't know. They don't know about their duties, right? Yes.
What's their duty? For that reason, they became silent about the family matter, about the duties of their family. This was happened, ma'am. This was a bad. This is a bad thing.
Yes. Correct.
They didn't take responsibility, and they can't. They are not responsible in different works.
That's right. You know what? In abroad, what happens is that when a baby is born, like when they like 7 months, 8 months, from that, like the semi-solid food starts, they make the baby sit in a chair and they let the baby eat. Yeah, the baby herself or himself, they try to eat, so they squeeze the food and they mix it, they make their clothes dirty, they put it on their face, but that's how they learn about hard work and how to get their things done, like self dependent, not dependent on others. That independence, responsibility that you're talking about, hard work, so they are much smarter and they become very independent sooner because of the parenting skills there. But anyway, this might be controversial. I'm not saying they are great and we are not great. Parenting mistakes happen in both ends, and there are great parents. Wait, this is a very fiery point I'm saying. So I'm saying that parents all across the globe may be great. There are some great parents, and sometimes parents are human, so they can also go wrong, and country is not playing any role here. Disclaimer. Yes, 1 minute. Kulvinder wants to say something and then I'll come. Yes.
I think my another point is if family interference, because some people, everybody used to live some single families, some big families. So I personally, it's my personal experience. I saw in family, they have a grandparents. Mother making the child correct, the parents jump in. Don't do this. Don't scare them. So kids have a corner. They know if they make mistake, mothers call them. Then have a corner. They go there and they go in shadow. So they have a shadow in families. So I think grandparents, not just grandparents, it's big family members. Even mother and father, if they both, if mother or father, they making correct their child, but kid have a, they always look at their one scolding and another one taking side. So it's also a big bad side of that.
Sometimes we can see that parents are too strict and they start slapping, hitting them without any valid reason. I have seen there is a boy in our neighbor. He is in KGs and he is a very decent boy. But one day he want chocolate from her mother, and her mother was busy in her mobile. And when he started crying, his mother literally start beating him in front of everyone. Even she gave him uh, a extreme slap that her face got red, and
Oh God.
The boy was so scary. And I think this type of behavior can ruin their mental health also.
Absolutely, they'll be traumatized. Correct.
Yes, even the boys, when I have now when I see him, he's all time like in a dreadful situation. Like if I do something or if I say something, mother will scold me like this.
Absolutely. So too much love can be dangerous, blind love, and too much being strict, that's also equally bad. Excess, the word excess itself is negative. So too much of anything is not considered right. We should condemn such activities. Yes, Shomendo wants to say. Rumela, you want to say something? Okay, Shomendo, quickly.
So one thing I want to say, that sometimes we see that the child is shouting, and the parents, they shout back to them and tell them to not to shout. So this is one stupid thing, because children will follow your example, not your advice. So they are like mirror image. So whatever you do, they will learn that and they will do exactly the same. So sometimes I've seen that parents are shouting, scolding their children very roughly, that and telling them not to do something. So they will also learn that shouting like that, and also talking rudely. So these qualities will pass on to them. So the thing
True.
is that
Yes, we have actually discussed this when you got disconnected. We have discussed this point. Yes, it's a very valid point. So they'll follow your footsteps. Definitely, yes. Rumela?
I think parents should maintain a healthy relationship with each other. Sometimes we see parents fight in front of their children. They get violent, they abuse, they slap, and for this, the children's mind is getting very disturbed in such a way that they don't want to stay in their home. They just want to run away from their home. So I think the parents should take care of this thing also.
Again, a very valid point there. Like this happens, is a very common scenario when parents are having ugly fights. Recently, I saw one celebrity, Ranbir Kapoor. He shared that his mother and father, that means Rishi Kapoor ji and Neetu Singh, they used to have ugly fights, loud fights, and he used to be so scared. He used to sit at the staircase and just be traumatized, and that's why he cannot take loud volume and noisy places. And Alia Bhatt is a very vibrant, bubbly, extrovert person. So but Alia had to change herself because Ranbir cannot take loud conversations and loud laughter. So she had to change herself, adapt herself. As he himself revealed it on the podcast, so there's no like problem me sharing it with my class, that this is not just his story, it's a very common story. These things happen in most households. Fights are very common. So, but in front of the child, we should be careful. We shouldn't be doing it. On this note, let's wrap up our discussion. It was fabulous. You have participated very well. So many points we got on this topic. Yes? So, bye for today. See you soon next day. Bye, everybody. Take care.